Hello, everybody. How are you? Good to talk to you again. What is going on in the world? A hell of a lot. We're just rotting, aren't we, as a species? If I read one more story about somebody tossing a fucking brand new baby out the window in the inner city somewhere. What the fuck is going on? And I said on stage the other night, if Bernie Sanders really thought Black Lives Matter, he should be, he should be in the Bronx in an alley with a catcher's mitt. 3 times in 3 months I've read about a brand new baby being tossed. And no, I don't know that it's, I'm not saying it's just, it's, I'm guessing it's poor people. Black, Hispanic. Because when you read the story, they're not going to tell you. But you just have to you be a detective. You go, what part of the city are they talking about? Blah, blah, blah. And it's poor people. But, what the fuck? Yes, I know. White mothers drown their kids in tubs and drive them into lakes. I'm just saying for every one time that happens, you read about 200 of these every 5 years if you add them all up. It's crazy. Fucking crazy! But, before I get into that, before I get into any lives, let's get into my life. That's the life that really matters, my plugs. Thank you, first of all, people that came out to Gramercy. Not a full house by any stretch of the imagination, but again, Saturday night we had the Triple G fight at the Garden. We had the Mets were in town, and thank you for coming out. It was still fun. Quickly, this Saturday night, the 24th, I'm at the Sports Haven in New Haven, Connecticut. Good gig. I got a couple gigs, one Wednesday and Thursday. You don't need to know. I'm doing a benefit for the cops on Friday in Manville, New Jersey. And something in Toronto on Thursday night. Magoobies! That's in Timonium, Maryland. I hate the name of the town, and I hate the name of the club. And it's a great gig. That's November 5, 6, and 7. Magoobies, Timonium, can't even fucking say it. Maryland. And then the following weekend, November 12, 13, 14, the Comedy Club of Jacksonville, Florida. New gig. Can't wait to do it. Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, New York on the 28th of November. Done that one a few times. Love it. One of my favorite gigs. And the Comedy Scene at Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, December 4 and 5. What's going on? The Democrats had what they call a debate. Fucking pricelessly. Well, let's dedicate this song to Hillary Clinton because she thinks she should be president because, she's a chick. And they say, what separates you from the Obama administration? Well, I'm a girl. Well, how to be a feminist, huh? You should vote for me because I have a Clinton tits. That's what she's saying. Couldn't be any more less feminine. She does make me angry just at the sight of her. I don't know what you fuckers are thinking about on the left. I don't think you like her either, to be honest. I know the young kids don't. All right, Hillary. Hillary got big tats. Big, saggy fun bags reaching down to her cankles to distract you from that fucking face that was chiseled out of granite and dog shit. Enough of that. I don't want to be labeled sexist. Fuck off. Fuck off. Had enough. The fucking incessant whining of feminists and Black Lives Matter and immigrant groups and lawyers and just a constant fucking whine. You should see it from a white heterosexual male seat. You really should. Oh, that's right. The world has been handed to us. I forgot. Blow me. Anyways. I like big tits. I like big tits. So I did, Anthony Comia's podcast with Joe Matarese last week, and that was fun. It was always fun. It's always fun. The guy Ant makes me laugh my balls off, and Joey was good. Matarese, I thought they had met. I just assumed Matarese had been on O&A many times, but no, they had never had even met. So that was kind of fun, and it's in the city now. It's not back. It's not in his house out in Long Island. It's in the city. So we'll see how that works out. He must have $500,000 worth of studio. It's like walking into of equipment, I should say, in the studio. It's like walking into CBS. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, and while I was there, I get a text from Louie C.K. Hey, you want to watch the debates at my house? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Who knows who's going to show up? I went there for Thanksgiving, and there's like, 10 and 12, 15 people there. Half of them died, I think. Yeah. I'm blaming it on Louis stuffing. But remember I told you that Joan Rivers was there and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And I was like, Louis, did you cook the bird? I mean, am I going next? But he's a character, so. Yeah, I go over to Louis and... Or remind me to talk about the commute into Gramercy. How are you going to remind me? I don't have a fucking phone. Look, I'm talking like this is a live radio show, like I have a phone call. Just real quickly, the commute into Gramercy. I'm laying there watching Michigan State, 17-14. Just a delicious matchup. Like number 5 against 7 or 7 against 9, whatever. Just a fucking delicious... No, actually, Michigan's like 15 or 18. But anyways, just a fucking hardcore rivals. It's always a good game. But now that Harbaugh has Michigan playing like a top 20 team. And anyways, 17-14, delicious game. I look at my app, my Waze app. I'm on my couch watching the game, and I go, let me see. It's usually about 50 to 52 minutes into where the Gramercy Theater is from my house. And I check it and it says an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm like, might be a little bit shit. So I just said I better get the fuck out of here. It was like 6:15. I throw my jacket, leave my house, and holy shit, I'm glad I did. Took me a full motherfucking 90 fucking cocksucking fucking angry fucking. I've been making this commute again. I moved up to Westchester in like 2000, so I've been making it for 15 years. Never am I look. The thing about the Waze app, you look at it, and if there's a lot of traffic, the map will have bright red. The road that you're on will be bright red, meaning like fucking bumper to bumper. I went about 8 miles from my house, and again, it's about a 34-mile trek. I look at the fucking Waze app about 10 minutes into the ride, and it's like solid red every fucking... and it takes you the fastest. It was just... Fucking, I put in my John Denver music to calm me down. I was just cursing over him. I'm like, I'm glad that fucking... glider you were in, crash you motherless I was just fucking, I couldn't. It just takes you go from 1 minute to relaxing, watching a delicious game, and then I'm bumper to bumper with these motherless fucking 18 wheelers on both sides. Where the fuck are they going? Where are they going? And then it dawned on me, you had the fight at Madison Square Garden. Golovkin was fighting, and you also had the Mets. So why fucking Waze app was taking me down the way it was going, because I live right above New York City. I can go down the west side, and it took me down the other side, fucking Taconic, Springbrook, that, 278 West, FDR. Anyway, just a fucking... What was I talking about? I think I was talking about Hillary, wasn't I, before I went on this fucking rant? I'm all over the place today, folks. And then I get to the fucking, so I get there at like 10 minutes before the gig. And then I go to park, like, I'm like, this can't be right in front of the theater, like a little past the front door. And I get out of my car, and I have to read a street sign that was, I don't know, you had to have a fucking law degree. It had like 11 paragraphs. You could park there, like I said, if you're a Muslim with one leg and you have a backpack full of SpaghettiOs and fucking hair on your left nipple and it's a full moon, you can fucking park there. If not, I was standing there. I was reading the sign for 5 minutes. Commercial vehicles, Monday through Friday, and finally, this like doorman. It's like Greek. I think he was Greek. He comes out. He goes, "You're good. You're good there till Monday morning." He starts laughing. I go, do you see how much fucking writing on this? He goes, "I know. I help people all the time. I tell them you're good till Monday morning." I'm losing my fucking mind. And meanwhile, like the people that run Gramercy, fucking, they're out front watching me read the sign, laughing their balls off, going, this guy's fucking crazy. What was I talking about before I snapped? Was it Hillary? I think it was, right? The debates and shit? Yeah, I went to Louie's for the debates, and I get there, and he was expecting like 15 people, but only like 6 showed up. So he must have had, I'm not joking, he must have had like $140 worth of sushi, which I fucking love, by the way. I know that should surprise you, but, you know, I'll eat 3 pork chops after I have sushi. Going, yeah, I'm kind of full. Where's the fucking pork? Ooh, 2 California rolls. I almost farted. Give me a fucking half a steak. So we, I get over there, and it's just, first of all, it's just me and Louie. Fucking guy cracks me up. And then Fred Armisen shows up with his girlfriend and a couple of young comedian guys who I didn't know. I know their name was Bob. One of them was Bob, and they were brothers. One was Dan, I believe. So we just went up to Louie's. He's got the giant screen TV, whatever the fuck, and we just. It's funny because I'm sitting there, right? I'm the only one that fucking leans right. I'm sitting amongst, they probably they're probably looking at me going, why did Louie invite this guy? And I'm just biting my tongue, trying not to throw gobs of shit like a monkey at the TV while Bernie Sanders and the rest of these fucking old white. A lot of diversity there, Democrats. A lot of diversity up on that stage. I see diversity is very important until it's an issue of grabbing the most powerful job on the planet. Then you guys, you like your rigged game, you fucking lying titless fucks. Anyways, I'm sitting there. Just Hillary comes on. I want to fucking punch her right in her wrinkle throw. And then stupid Bernie Sanders promising the fucking world. Yeah, but how are you going to pay for it? I'll tax the billionaires. Really? That's going to do it? That's going to cover? They did a thing, and I think it was the Wall Street Journal, if he implemented his plan, Bernie's plan, free tuition for everybody as far as college goes and all the other fucking goodies, it was like $18 trillion. And he goes, he was on those Sunday morning shows. He goes, that's a bunch of baloney. Well, what's the actual figure? We haven't figured it out yet, but that's where you talk about Trump not getting specific. Get the fuck out of here with you. And of course, there's enough dummies in this country that'll fucking go, oh, free shit, okay. That's the whole plan for fucking Dems. Just a nitwit promising the fucking world free healthcare. We're the only country free healthcare that does not have free healthcare. Yeah, and he points to like 3 other countries. You add up the people, there's like 11 people total. Just fucking happy horseshit. Yeah, there's fucking, and all the people that he hates, the billionaires and millionaires. Yeah, a lot of them fucking get. It's true. They do. They get a fucking, listen to Trump. They get a ton of tax breaks. You know what they also do? They create jobs. Those fucking billionaires, they create jobs. People who run companies create the fucking economy. What do you think? It's stupid Obama and fucking community organizers that fucking create jobs? No, you just suck off the tit of the taxpayers. So, yeah, you can hate the billionaires and millionaires, but they also make shit work. You wouldn't have an economy without them. Nobody brings that up, fucking nitwits. Hey, you want a good paying job? Fucking go to bed at a decent hour. Get up, fucking go to school. Work your way through school. Like my brother did. Move your family around 8 times. Yeah, like that was fucking handed to him. Anyway, I really enjoyed myself. But did you watch... well, let's listen. I got... the big moment of the debate was, by the way, they didn't ask any questions, and it's the reason I was fucking watching it. Any questions about foreign policy? The biggest failure of this administration. They have the fucking Secretary of State, the former Secretary of State, who was actually, involved in creating this mess. They have her right in a debate, not one fucking question. CNN, you like a rigged game. Like Randall Patrick McMurphy said in Cuckoo's Nest about Nurse Ratched. She likes a rigged game. Fucking, you really do. Not one. I think they asked one question. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. Hardly anything on immigration either. Just CNN playing. Just fucking playing to Debbie Schultz Wasserman's fucking game plan. Anyways, here's Bernie Sanders defending Hillary and her fucking shitstorm that she's in.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the secretary is right.
She is a secretary. Get my coffee, bitch.
People are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
I'm glad you can speak for all Americans, Bernie, you fucking dick cheese.
Anderson, and let me say something about the media as well. I go around the country, talk to a whole lot of people. Middle class of this country is collapsing. We have 27 million people living in poverty. We have massive wealth and income inequality.
Yeah.
Our trade policies have cost us millions of decent jobs.
Yeah.
The American people want to know whether we're going to have a democracy or an oligarchy as a result of Citizens United. Enough of the emails.
Slamming it on
Let's talk
Citizens
about the real
United.
issues
You
facing
fucker.
America.
Listen to her. Yeah, that cycle. Here's Hillary in the debate.
The last to go will see the first three go before her. And her mangy little dog, too.
Big saggy tits. Fucking face of a
How
wolf.
about a little fire, Scarecrow?
That's her throwing fire at Chaffee.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done!
It's Ted Cruz pissing on Hillary.
Oh, what a world! What a world! Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness? Ah, look out! Look out! I'm going!
That's right, you fucking wrinkled bag of cheese. Yeah, Bernie Sanders coming to Hillary's rescue. I think all of Americans... No. Actually, there's a zillion Americans who want to hear more. The fucking FBI is involved, but let's forget about it. Again, that used to work when there was no Fox News to the New York Times and Washington Post and NBC, CBS, ABC. That strategy used to work when there was no Fox fucking News, but you can't do that anymore. You can't get into a scandal and then just keep wringing it out and a little at a time until eventually you just go, oh, people are tired of hearing about the fucking FBI as we speak are fucking going over her emails and shit. So it's... You might be tired of it, and if I was a Democrat or a lib, I'd be fucking tired of it, but oh no, there's more people than just you in the world. Yeah, I don't give a shit if it was fucking bipartisan or not. She should be in jail. You listen to lawyers on TV who know anything about the Constitution, right? She should be in jail already for what she's fucking done. She's violated like 13 statutes by using a private server and having classified shit on it. There's like 19 statutes that she's violated. Oh, they're just making it up there. This is political. Yeah, it's political. She's a politician. People on the right are politicians. Yeah, it's political. Of course it is. Yeah. Hillary! Vote for me. It's ironic. She wants to get elected because she has a vagina, but I think she's got a big dick and balls. Did you see SNL? Larry David, who I think it was Colin Quinn who told me that he sounds that Bernie Sanders sounds just like Larry David when he's doing George Steinbrenner on Seinfeld. That is true. So, but Larry was on SNL. Tracy Morgan hosted. God bless him. Back in action. You could tell he's just a little off. But I don't know if it was him or the writing. I don't know. But good to see him. That guy makes me laugh, man. He makes me friggin' laugh. That Brian Fellows shit cracked me up. But they obviously one of the opening sketches was the Democratic debate. And Larry David was playing the role of Bernie Sanders. Larry was also a Jew from Brooklyn, so he's got the accent down, and it was pretty funny. Here's one of the better highlights of that sketch.
How would you each differentiate yourself from the Obama administration?
For me, I'm an outsider, Anderson. I'm the only candidate up here who's not a billionaire. I don't have a super PAC. I don't even have a backpack. I carry my stuff around loose in my arms like a professor, between classes. I own one pair of underwear. That's it. Some of these billionaires, they got 3, 4 pairs. And I don't have a dryer. I have to put my clothes on the radiator. So who do you want as president? One of these Washington insiders? Or a guy who has one pair of clean underwear that he dries on a radiator? BernieSanders.com. Check it out. It's a mess.
That was a good line. But you see how they go. That was actually a sympathetic characterization of his views. And see, they don't cut as deep when SNL's writing about the Dems. You notice they just don't quite cut into the policies, and they just don't quite. It's something a little superficial. Still funny, but and don't think that doesn't have an effect on people. That show has an enormous effect. Tina Fey single-handedly destroyed. Not single-handedly, but Sarah Palin. So yeah, they just cut a little bit lighter when it's the fucking Dems. What else during the debate was funny? It was kind of dry, but like I said, nothing really on immigration, foreign policy. Can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine? Let me turn this up. I'm checking my lights here. How about who? What's his name? Lincoln Chaffee? Is that his first name? Governor of Rhode Island. Have you looked at his history? How much this guy's flip-flopped? He's changed parties and he looks and we were making fun of. Obviously, we were sitting in the room and like when Louie had some good lines about when Bernie Sanders is talking, like he'll pause, he'll say something, then he'll pause for like 2 seconds, and that's him not knowing at that second where the fuck he is because he's at. And it's true. I do it at my age. I can imagine at 70-something. But Lincoln Chaffee, is that his first name? Or am I making that up? But Lincoln Chaffee looks like Bill Maher with AIDS. He looks just like a very sickly. If Bill Maher was strung out on heroin or something. He's got kind of like a woman-y look to him, too. Not Bill Maher. Lincoln Chaffee does. But just a real dope. Just a real dope. Did you hear him? He's like, I didn't know. I had just gotten to Washington. I don't even know what he was talking about. We were belly laughing. We were yelling shit at the TV. I was yelling shit out that would get silence. Louie would look at me with a nervous laugh, and I think like Fred Armisen's girlfriend's like appalled. Nobody told me if she was a comedian, if she's in show business. I just figured I could say anything in Rome because if you're an artist or a comedian, we all give ourselves that much. But at one point, she goes to me, language. I think the word cunt might have fucking done it. But, yeah. Well, here's just Chaffee. How can you imagine? I mean, he's going to be certified to be nuts to think he even had a shot. A fucking shot. Just a real goober, isn't he? Here he is. Here's some of Chaffee during the debate.
It is good to see you, though. Good to see you. It has been a long time, since I seen you folk last. I got married. I got married. It was a military wedding. I know it's guns there, let's put it that way. You know what a shotgun wedding is, don't you? That's a matter of life or death.
Oh, did you say that? Really, Lincoln? Chaffee?
I met my wife through her brother. He said to me, would you like to meet
This is
my
Lincoln
sister?
Chaffee during the debates.
I said, you got a sister? He said, I got 2. One's named Lassie, the other one's named Helga. I said, Lassie's a dog. He said, wait until you meet Helga.
Oh, Lincoln. That's what I was hearing every time he opened his fucking dumb yap. Ugh. That's actually, what I just played you actually made more sense than when he announced. Do you remember when he announced that he was running for president a few months back? What his big plan was? what his message, what was important to him, and the reason he was running. Here it is. Here's the actual... Here's Chaffee, one of his big plans for the United States to transform it fundamentally.
Earlier, I said, let's be bold. Here's a bold embrace of internationalism.
It's dead serious.
Let's join the rest of the world and go metric. I happen to live in Canada, and they completed the process.
The press is laughing.
Believe me, it's easy. It doesn't take long before 34 degrees is hot.
Huh?
Only Myanmar, Liberia, and the United States aren't metric, and it will help our economy.
He's dead fucking serious. He's dead fucking serious. And people make fun of fucking people on the right for being stupid. And can you fucking imagine this guy? Unbelievable. They let him in the debate. They let him in the debate. Oh, God help us. I think I could govern Rhode Island. It's a little bigger than, it's like a little bigger than like Pittsfield, Mass. I just pulled that on my ass. But, oh, God, I was trying not to laugh every time he opened his dirty mouth.
It is good to see you, though. Good to see you. It has been a long time, since I seen you folk last. I got married. I got married.
What a dick. And who else do we have up there? Martin O'Malley, who looked like a mannequin. He looked like the guy in the underwear ads and like in those old Sears catalogs. He looked like a robot. Just a fucking... And he would turn his body when like Hillary was speaking. Whoever was speaking, he'd turn completely. He'd do a 180 and face them. So he was like perpendicular to who was ever speaking. It was really creepy. He's got those slanty eyes, and but he's got a good resume to run on. Because I mean, look at the city of Baltimore, and he did a lot for Maryland. He really did. What the fuck is he thinking? I think I'd go with Chaffee before him. And again, his big. He showed what kind of spine he had when he was at a Black Lives Matter event, and he said all lives matter, and they started booing him. So the next day he apologized. Can you imagine? For saying all lives matter, white lives matter, he didn't have to. He apologized. That's the kind of leadership. That's the kind of spine this country needs, right? Yeah, white bucket. What a dick. I don't even remember what he... I don't even... I can't remember anything he said during the debate. And then we had Jim Webb. Only guy really on that stage who's ever done anything. He was in, I think he was in Nam. He's in the military. He has to get a new shirt maker. His collar was like choking. If you remember, he had his chin down like he was trying to keep blood from gushing out of a hole in his throat. It's very fucking odd. But, again, out of everybody up there, I respect him more than those other people. But, he is a little... They say he's a little... he flies off the handle and, Well, here's some of him during the debate, and I really enjoyed it.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off! It wasn't my war. You asked me, I didn't ask you. And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win. And I come back to the world, and I see all those maggots at the airport protesting me, spitting, calling me baby killer and all kinds of vile crap. Who are they to protest me, huh? Who are they? Unless they've been me and been there and know what the hell they're yelling about.
Sir?
Bad time for everyone, Rambo. It's all in the past now.
For you!
Senator Webb, your time is up.
Life is nothing. In the field, we had a code of honor.
Your time is up,
sir. You watch my back, I watch yours. Back here, there's nothing.
You're the last of an elite group. Don't end it like this.
Back there, I can fly a gunship. I can drive a tank.
Your time is up.
I was in charge of $1 million equipment. Back here, I can't even hold a job. Fucking guys! Ah!
And he fell off the stage. The song just keeps coming back. That's what he fought for. What the fuck else? Airstrikes kill Al-Qaeda bigwig. we're fighting for. Big tits. A U.S.-led coalition airstrike has killed Chaffee al-Nasra, a Saudi citizen and the leading financier for Al-Qaeda and its Khorasan group offshoot. Khorasan? I thought they were a financial group. I think I have some shares with them. This is what the Pentagon is reporting. Al-Nasra, who had organized routes for new recruits to travel from Pakistan to Syria through Turkey, was killed in an airstrike on Thursday in northwest Syria, according to the Pentagon. Al-Nasr is the fifth senior Khorasan group leader killed in the last 4 months, the Pentagon said. Yeah, I'd like to believe you, but the Obama administration doctors these reports, and that's what we were told 2 weeks ago, that they're painting a rosier picture than it really is. So I don't know what to believe. Officials have described Khorasan as particularly menacing faction of militants who have been using their sanctuary in Syria to try to organize plots to attack U.S. and other Western targets. Well, I'll give Obama that much. He has used those drones. But it says a U.S.-led coalition airstrike. Okay, who are the other people involved? Can you mention those? And maybe if I Google this, it'll probably show the drone hit. I'd like to see this. I don't believe what I read anymore. You got to see it to believe it. I told you, right? I was filmed from a drone doing comedy. I mentioned that a few episodes ago when we went over to Afghanistan, and me, Artie, and Baba Booey, and Tell, and Florentine. Yeah. They actually took pictures of us, gave them to us after from a drone, us doing stand-up. The way my career's going, I wish they'd let one of those predators go right up my ass. Iran open to tourism. Hey, there's good news. Huh? There's good news. Iran is open for tourism. Iran's vice president said Sunday his country is preparing for a tsunami of foreign tourists as world powers are set to begin implementing a landmark nuclear deal that will lift sanctions in return for curbs on the nation's nuclear program. Yes, me and my wife go to Iran every year. It's a beautiful time. We go in the fall. You can watch the bodies change colors that are hanging in the public squares from cranes. Yeah, they go from brown to green to rotten. It's beautiful. It's a fucking beautiful thing over there. Tourism in Iran. Maybe if you get there, you can watch maybe some clitoral mutilation of women, you know. Maybe drive through downtown with the windows open and your car playing this. See how this flies in if the tourists play this. Better shut that off. So, yeah, if you guys are looking for something to do, I don't know, over the holidays, Iran, they say it's going to be, people are going to just fucking, just a tsunami of foreigners heading over to Iran. Are you shitting me? I don't know. What was the movie that Ben Stiller just did? You know, about the Canadian, they snuck out the fucking hostages. I can't remember the title of it. But just that airport scene where they're going over your paperwork, which sort of happened to me in Afghanistan. I already told that story. I'm not going to tell it again. But just that alone would make me... They could give me a $5 million condo over there. I don't know how that would work, what that would consist of in Iran. And I wouldn't fucking go over there. They're expecting a tsunami of foreign tourists. Oh, I thought that was fucking hilarious. What the hell else, kiddios? Oh, it's so funny. I was watching football this weekend, and I put on the Ohio State Penn State. No, I was watching that after I came home from work. I recorded a bunch of shit like I always do. And I was watching it, actually the next day, yesterday, I was watching Ohio State Penn State. That's the beauty of, I don't know, of what I do. I can go do my gig, and, you know, unless it's a local sports team, Nobody gives a shit about college football. Nobody gives a shit about sports in the business I'm in, you know? Half of them are gay, and nobody gives a shit. I go to my gig, although Dan Soda is as big a football fan as I am. But I go to the gig, and I come home, and, not knowing the results of any of the games. I got like 8 of them taped. And, Jesus, I'm fat. I just grabbed my fucking waist. Jesus Christ, I'm going to sue fucking Sean T. You got the sweat. You got the drop. You got a pot belly. I ain't going to fuck you. So I come home, and, yesterday morning I'm watching Penn State, Ohio State, not knowing the results. Ain't that beautiful? And they put the camera on the punter for Ohio State. And I'm like, what the fuck? I freeze frame it. He looked just like Billy Burr. So I freeze frame it, and I take a picture right off my television of their punter. The guy's an Australian, I think he's originally an Australian rugby guy. And he's a great punter. This guy has a touch like a golfer, like a Jordan Spieth. He can drop these punts like within, inside the 5-yard line every time. I don't even know his name, not important, but he is Billy Burr. If Billy Burr was like 20 years younger. I mean, he actually looked like Billy Burr, not just a spitting. So I tweet that picture of him, not thinking any of it. I wake up this morning, I looked at it an hour after I tweeted it. It had already been retweeted like 300 times, and it just kept going all afternoon. And it's approaching, it was over 700 retweets this morning. I guess everybody agrees with me. This kid was a spitting image of Billy Burr. I'm talking Coffin Corner, dude. I fucking nailed it, Coffin Corner. And it's been favored like 2,000 times, close to 2,000 times, which says what it says more about Billy's social media presence than anything. But people were laughing their balls off. It looks just fucking like him. I couldn't believe it. And so I get to the gig, to do Gramercy. Like I said, I had to leave. During the Michigan State delicious matchup. So I get there, and I say to Danny Soder, I come in, and a little chit-chat, and I go, I just had to fucking leave them, because he's a big fan, and I said, I just had to leave the Michigan State watching that. He goes, did you see how it ended? I go, what do you mean? What happened? No, I can't even explain I got to show it to you. So he takes out his phone, and you guys all know by now how it fucking ended. It was the craziest ending to, and these are fucking arch rivals. They hate each other. But, if you didn't see it, a great call by Sean McDonough, another Boston guy, and one of the best play-by-play guys out there. He's just he's no nonsense. He'll say shit that ruffles the feathers of the network sometimes. He's got that Boston honest streak that I love. And what a great call. You can hear his voice. It's like he sounds like Peter Brady calling. His fucking voice cracks like 5 times but this is how the Michigan State, I think Michigan was up by a couple points. It's 4th down. All they're going to do is punt it. All they're going to do is punt it, and but they have to punt it. It's 10 seconds left in the game. They're up by 2. Like less than midfield. A little towards their own end zone, but not too. Anyways, this is what happens.
One step it. Don't take your normal steps. One step it. Get it out.
Guy jinxed the punter.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State. Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Danny takes his phone out and shows me that. I couldn't believe I missed that. I should be used to it. After been doing this for 28 years. I don't know how many times shit like that has happened, but it was great. It was just I fucking unbelievable. It was kind of a low snap, and the guy should have played it. He could have caught it. He booted it. And he's and he goes to He tries to pick it up, and then he gets spun around. And it reminded me of back in the early 70s, can't remember the year, but the Redskins were playing the Miami Dolphins. I think it was their undefeated team. Early 70s. It was a Super Bowl. And the Dolphins had a little field goal kicker from some third world dump. Gary Yepremian, who's a lefty kicker. And in the Super Bowl, the ball somehow got bounced. He was out there to kick a field goal. The snap was botched. He tried to pick it up and run with it, and he batted the ball like it was a volleyball. Just picture a soccer player who had never seen a football, and if you toss it to him, instead of he just batted away, he batted up in the air, and somebody from the Dolphins recovered it. That's what it looked like. This kid got spun around, and he just he was bobbling it as he was getting thrown to the ground. I think popped right into some guy's hand from Michigan State, just standing there. And that's why I'm glad I don't gamble anymore. Can you imagine somebody had money on that, one way or the other somewhere, and I mean real fucking money, and loses on something like that? Although I don't know what the line was, to be honest with you, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. Just like last night, again, I'm in that stupid football pool. I take the Pats laying 7.5 because I think, by the way, how good are the fucking Pats, huh? By the way, how good are the Patriots? Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and I'll keep saying it till they finally falter like they were supposed to have last year. But I thought they were going to come out, and I thought they would just fucking because of the whole Deflategate thing, they were going to really lay it on heavy last night. And what happens? They're up by 13. Again, they score at will, and the defense was a little soft last night, but that'll be fixed by the genius. Anyways, I'm up by 13, but then there's a couple minutes left, and I'm already cursing out the TV. I'm already cursing out again, it's a pool. I don't have any real money on it, but that's not the point. Okay? I'm laying 7.5. They're up by I already see what's going to happen. It's going to break on whatever. That half point's going to fuck me in the ass. I know, because what happens? What happens when there's a couple minutes left and you're up by a couple touchdowns? You play that stupid soft prevent. You don't care unless you're Art Schleister and you have $10,000 on your and you're betting on your own team. Google Art Schleister if you don't know who he is. Anyways, but I know damn well. I know Luck is going to drive them down there, and they're going to get that shit touchdown with about 25 seconds left to fucking just make my Sunday even shittier. I think I had 6 right. I really took it in the face after having, 2 weeks ago having 11. Anyways, sure enough, Luck drives them down there. It's just so... Ugh. And it's not any money. It's a stupid little pool. I didn't lose anything. It just makes me feel shitty. Isn't that sad? What the fuck? But I knew... Because you can see it coming. And it's like, okay, then why would you... Because I thought the Pats were going to rout them. I mean, really rout them. But, Brady just throwing better than ever. He's actually moving around in the pocket better than he ever has. It's so funny. Every time he goes back to pass, I hold my breath. It's like watching, it's like watching an epileptic holding a fucking, what do you call it? Fabergé egg. Some fucking kind of reference was that? I don't know. Suck it.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So, stay on the football, I guess, huh? I'm going back and forth. Oh, yeah, we'll stay on that. How about the shit that's going on in the parking lots after games, whether it be baseball or football, huh? We really are rotting at the core. We're rotting. We're coming apart at the seams. The social fabric, I don't give a fuck. We're rotting. Care what anybody says. We need a benign dictator to get in there. How about, the Pats last week? Do you remember hearing about this? You didn't hear about it. If you didn't hear about it, don't be surprised, because the NFL, I guess they're in cahoots with the media too, because they can't have stories like this getting out again. A Patriots fan was shot in the neck and died 3 days later. Got shot after the Cowboys game. Richard Sells, his name was. The gunman, Marvin Rodriguez, 28, was arrested on the scene. He was holding a gun to another guy's head. I guess a big brawl had broke. I don't. He was holding a gun to another guy's head. That guy's name was Lester Peters. How lucky does he feel? Of Lufkin. Rodriguez let Peters go, but got involved in a second fight, and a minute later, and he shot Sells. Weapons are prohibited by state law. Oh, I guess the gun laws didn't work there either, huh? Yeah, of course they're prohibited. Really, thanks. Sells was recently engaged and expecting a child, naturally, right? Can you fucking imagine? Can you imagine? But here's what I don't understand about this story. They set bail at 200 G's. I didn't know you set bail when somebody murdered somebody. I mean, it was upgraded to murder after he died because he died a few days later. But still, why was there bail involved? You can shoot somebody and still get out on fucking bail? Think that might have something to do with our gun problems? Can you friggin' imagine? How fucking horrible. Yeah. Initially, he was facing charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury. And then it was upgraded to murder after the guy died, obviously. What the fuck is going on, though? Because then the week before that, after the first game of the National League Division Series, when the Dodgers lost to the Mets, a mother and son duo reportedly set upon a Mets fan in the parking lot of Dodger Stadium. A mother and son duo. Well, is that like Shirley Jones and David Cassidy? It's funny, huh? You haven't heard anything about these suspects, so... The attack took place after the Mets games a couple weeks ago, after a verbal spat with a pair. Of course, the son was sucker punched. He was just knocked out immediately. You could hear his head hitting the concrete, and... Luckily, there's some Dodgers fans who have a soul that actually helped, apply towels to this guy's head. But police have been hesitant to say if the duo or victim were fans of a particular team. Boy, I could make a comment that would get me kicked out of podcast radio. Naturally, as this series is a couple of degrees above the powder keg classification, what does that got to do with it? Video of the assault has been obtained by the LAPD, who announced that the woman appears to be in her 40s and 50s, and the son between 25 and 30. You want to give us any more information? Maybe we got to help you. Yeah, I like more information. I don't know they're in custody now, but I mean, I would like to know more about the story. Just curious, Can you imagine? I don't care. It should say they were white. It could say they were Asian. It could say they were Native American. You know what I mean? But just tell us. That's how we keep track of shit. Isn't that fucking unbelievable? A guy who was a friend of the victim said, he tweeted after, embarrassed to be a Dodgers fan as my Mets fan's friend is in the hospital missing a piece of his skull after being hit by a lowlife. The tweet has since been taken down. Why? Why has it been taken down? Should be on national TV. The LAPD has promised an intensified presence for Game 4. The Dodgers have since been eliminated, but I'm just saying. Friday's post-game attack recalls another parking lot assault at the hands of Dodgers fans in 2011. That's because California is a third-world shithole. When two men snuck up and brutally beat San Francisco Giants fan Brian Stowe. Remember that. You guys all heard about that. He received life-threatening brain damage from the assault, required years of therapy because they stomped on his face after he was unconscious. Required years of therapy to recover motor skills and his ability to walk. The LA-based Mets fan sounded frightened about the rancor Dodgers fans exhibited following the Game 1 loss, especially after the attack. He goes, I've never seen anything like this. Yeah, well, get used to it. It's the world we live in. Fucking lost our minds. Lost our fucking minds. I mean, I'm in the city driving, and this is happening 10 times in the last 10 years. Somebody's crossing the street with headphones on, looking at their cell phone. I have the right-of-way. I have the green light, and I have to log up my brakes, and then I blow on the horn, and they give me the finger for saving their fucking lives, in which they were right. I should have just continued on. And, but we fucking, what is going on? Shootings and, yeah, get tickets to the Cowboys. Let me get my Cowboy sweatshirt, my pennant, and my fucking Glock. We're ready to roll. Fucking idiots. Violent, motherless fucks. That's all I can say. And what else did I do last week? I did Colin Quinn's Cop Show. You know, his web series. And should be on network. It's so funny. His writing is just so smart and funny. And that's the problem. It's too subtle, too smart, too funny. Got to dumb it down. It is so fucking funnier than anything you see on Brooklyn fucking 911, whatever it is. Brooklyn 99, I should say. And no disrespect to that show either. I'm just saying this should be, if that's on network TV, this should definitely be on. I mean, I actually like Sam Berg and those guys, but so goddamn funny. We did a scene where I'm sort of I'm not going to give it all away, but it's based on the Donnie Brasco Forget About It scene. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's so fucking relevant and smart. That's the thing. It's relevant. And God forbid you touch on real news on a TV show. You know what I mean? Because when you touch on the truth and shit, ethnicities are involved and races, and you can't have that. Not on network TV. Not unless it's making whitey or fucking Catholics look stupid. But it was in Brooklyn, and all the shit's being shot in Brooklyn. So like all these studios now. I get there, right? I walk in. What's the first thing I think? I see Dave Attell in a police uniform with like devil horns on his head. That's all I can tell you about it. That's all I see. He's doing a scene with Quinn. I mean, how funny. I was fucking belly laughing. Just seeing it and then listening to the scene and watching it on the monitor. It looks so awesome. So it's called Cop Show. You guys, again, if you're fans of mine, you're fans of Tough Crowd, you're fans of Quinn and these guys I'm telling you about, so I'm sure you're aware of his Cop Show web series, which I hope if anybody out there in L.A. has an ounce of fucking balls, they will scoop this up just on how funny and smart the writing is. And it's fun. It's really fun to... Again, it's fun, I say. I enjoy acting when I'm on a set with people you know and stuff. It's fun. But, you know, sometimes you'll get a couple lines on a fucking network show, and if you don't know what you're doing, you fucking... If you flub up, you're gone. I don't know why. It's like it's the nerds. It's their playing field, you know? The kids who are nerds grew up that run Hollywood now. Now they like to fucking bully people. But, yeah. Did that, and then I had to put myself on tape for Pete Holmes, who's a very funny guy. I guess he's got some type of pilot. So they wanted me Thursday to go in and read, but I couldn't because I was doing Quinn's show in Brooklyn. So now, in this day of technology, you put your cell phone, you use your cell phone. So I spent like two and a half hours on these it was like 3 or 4 scenes for Pete Holmes. And I better get some goddamn feedback at least, even if he didn't like it. So, got a TV and film agent for the first time in about 15 years. Why not? Got to get on a plane Thursday to fucking Toronto for some fundraiser. I don't even know. It's so funny. This thing was brought to me about a year ago. It's like, yeah, that's good money. And you're like, it's fairly good money. I'll do it. It's one night. Doesn't sound bad. And then, here it is. You're like, oh, I don't want to get on a goddamn plane to Toronto. So what the hell else? Did you see the picture of me in the Wall Street Journal last week? You probably did and didn't even realize it was me because about 1/8 of my face is in the shot. It's a picture of me, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld at a Mets game. And this was taken years ago when I was working for Chris in the late 90s, around 99, 2000, I think. And it was in originally it was in the Post or the New York Times or whatever. But the story, I think it was in Wall Street Journal this past week. The story was how comedians love the New York Mets. And by the way, I'm pulling for the Cubbies. I was pulling for the Mets unless the Cubbies got in it, and that's if the Mets beat the Cubbies, they're up 2-0. Thanks to Daniel Murphy. This guy's playing out of his tits. I mean, I hope the Mets win it all. But, come on, Cubbies, what's it been, 1,152 years? So, I'm leaning Cubbies and Joe Madden and Theo Epstein, Red Sox genius. But if not, like I said, go Mets. They got some sick pitch in the Mets. That fucking Syndergaard throws aspirin up there, man. And Daniel Murphy has been on a goddamn tear. He tied Piazza for like homers in a postseason series or whatever. I mean, he's just. And the other night in Game 1, the Cubs had the what do you call it? Oh my God, Nick, what the fuck is wrong with you? They had the shift on. They had all their team, everybody in the infield to the right of second base or whatever the fuck. And Murph was on, I think, first, and somebody walked. And the Cubs fell asleep. They didn't get back. Nobody was covering third base. So Murph just keeps going. Daniel Murphy gets to second and just keeps going to third. And then the next guy hits a fly ball and it ties the game. He tags up and scores. How's that? I'm doing Mad Dog Russo. But he hit another one last night. I mean, he is so the MVP of this fucking series. He could strike out for the rest of the series. I mean, what the hell? He's making quite an argument for himself. Cespedes hasn't even made contact. But you know what that means, Mets fans? The Sox had him for a few months. If he has first of all, you got to take off the rape ski mask. I know it's cold out there, but come on. But Cespedes is the type of guy who's very streaky. If he doesn't do it, look, there's still a lot more games to be played in this series. But if he doesn't do it in this series and they do get into the World Series, watch out. The bigger the stage for him. But he doesn't. Looks like he doesn't like the 30-degree weather. Doesn't go with his Cuban. I think he's Cuban. Anyways, but the point being that the Mets are 2 games away, so that's pretty amazing. And I think Terry Collins is a class act, so I'm happy for him. And then in the other series, you got Kansas City Royals, who to me are the best team left, as good as the Mets look. KC Royals are the best team because there's something gritty about these guys. You can be up on these guys a couple runs going into the 7th. They can be getting shut out, and they'll put 6 up on the board. There's something gritty. They've been there before. They came within a red CH of winning it all last year, and they look like they have the chip on their shoulder, and they're coming around to last year's form. So, yeah. Although now it goes back to Toronto, but I don't see them beating Kansas City with that bullpen Kansas City has. But you can't count out Toronto's bats. It's like a fucking high-pitched softball team, these guys. Everybody that comes up to the plate has 38, 40 home runs, 44 home runs. Donaldson, fucking Bautista, who's a bit of a punk. I don't know. He looks like a bad guy in every Western you see with Clint Eastwood, doesn't he? I like him and I hate him. That bat flip, I'd fucking drill him right in the head if I was a pitcher next time up. No questions asked, right in the fucking Adam's apple. He's a bit of a fucking punk. And you know why I say that? He catches the ball in right field and he pretends to flip it to the fans. And this is in one of the games at KC. He catches the ball and then pretends to flip it and then like fakes him out. What a dick. What an ass. But man, can he hit. Love that black beard, too. Fucking rapist. Yeah. Have I covered it all? Oh, Bo Bergdahl. Yeah, all of a sudden they're making recommendations, higher ups in the Army, that he's going to get off with fucking no jail time. He's going to be able to keep his pension. This is the latest thing I read. I'm pinching myself. This is the traitor cocksucker that Obama traded to fucking... to get him back for 5 Taliban members or Al-Qaeda members who since, gone on to do fucking horrible things. Unbelievable that they botched that. Unbelievable. A traitor for 5 fucking dangerous guys who will probably be back in the mix if they aren't already. I thought I read where a couple of them already were. But, yeah, and this guy's going to probably... It hasn't been decided yet because it still has to go up the even higher food chain before somebody makes a final call. But the last colonel to look at it, and obviously he's getting pressure from you-know-who to keep his legacy. Oh, it's unfucking believable. It's just, this guy is shameless. The guy in the White House is shameless. Anyways. And, Bergdahl's guys and his troop said people died looking for him. What, are they making that shit up? What, we can't verify that? Are they making that up? And he's using some bullshit excuse that he was going to jog 14 miles to our nearest base because he thought there was a lack of leadership amongst the troop that he was in. That was his excuse. What fucking lawyer came up with that hush? They should pull an Eddie Slovak on this motherfucker. Anyways. Have I covered it all? I think I have, kids. Again, come see me this Saturday night, the Sports Haven in New Haven. Come on out. It's a casino. It's actually decent. I remember bad-mouthing the gig and getting there going, holy shit. Not the ideal setup, but as far as a casino goes, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen there if you play your cards right. You know what I'm saying? Or you could go out in the parking lot and... that's about it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Do I have anything else? The plugs? Magoobies, the beginning of November. Imagine, I just read these to you and I can't even remember them. I swear to God, I got 5, 6, and 7 November Magoobies. 12, 13, and 14, Comedy Club Jacksonville, Florida. 28th, Suffolk Theater in Riverhead, New York. That's November. And then December, the Comedy Scene at Foxborough, Massachusetts on the 4th and 5th. In the shadows of the greatest dynasty in NFL history. Yes, sir. You guys, love you. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you at the next gig, I'm sure, hopefully. You know? That's a problem with the social media shit. You get all excited, ooh, he's got 80,000 followers, which is nothing, by the way, in showbiz terms. There's people with 8 million out there, I'm just saying. But even the 80,000 are spread across the globe. How do I know? 30% of those could be in Brazil. The other 11% in Los Angeles and 7% in Taiwan. I don't know. That's a lot of strange places. All righty. Good day, everybody.